The W wall slide strengthens the mid and lower traps and the rhomboids for a seriously strong pull-up, but a lot of people don't have the mobility to do it. This follow-along routine will fix that. So to get you closer to that W wall slide, we're going to do some flexibility work for the chest, for the biceps, for the internal and external rotators of the shoulders. We're going to really just work on a whole bunch of things that are going to allow you to get closer to that wall, but we're also going to do some end range strength for the horizontal abductors, so the muscles that pull your hands away from the center line like that are going to help you to get into that position. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with a chest stretch on a bench, and these D-rollers are really good for this. They're not essential, but with a D-roller what it does is it allows your scapula to fully retract when you do the movement, so you can go through full range of motion. If you don't have the D-roller, it's fine, you just go on the bench. So we're just going to sit here. We're going to use some very light dumbbells. I've got 3 kilogram, which is about 6.5 or 7 pounds, but these are the smallest I've got at my home studio. If you had 1 or 2 kilograms or 2.2 to 4.5 pounds, that'd be even better. It's meant to be just a really gentle weight. And we're just going to lay down here, bring your arms up, and just allow the weight to pull your hands down to the ground. And we're going to hold for 30 seconds. So I'm just completely relaxing here. So 30 seconds is the optimal time for a stretch, but doing more sets is actually more beneficial for you than doing longer hold times. So rather than sitting here for 2 or 3 minutes, what would be better for you is if you did 2 or 3 sets of just 30 seconds, but you're also going to pair it with the horizontal abduction exercise that we're going to do in a minute. So of course it's hard for me to time exactly how long I'm doing this for when I'm talking and giving instructions, but let's presume that that's about 30 seconds. And hopefully you got a really nice stretch across your chest when you did that. And now what we're going to do, get the bench out of the way, and you're going to, probably need to unclip the microphone for this. We're going to lay down on the ground and we're going to do an end range contraction in our abductors. So from here you have your nose touching the ground. What we're going to do is depress the shoulder blades as far as they can possibly go. So it's very important that they stay depressed. And then we're going to slowly lift the arms as high as they can go and hold for 10 seconds, keeping the shoulder blades depressed. Really working that horizontal abduction, contracting as hard as you can. So the worst thing you can do there is let your shoulder blades elevate like that. Okay, we want to keep the shoulder blades depressed. And now we're going to go and retest that same chest stretch. So we get back into position. And we go down into the same stretch. These D-rollers are so good for this. You can get them on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description of the video, and bang, already I can feel that I'm going further. And the reason why you can go further now is because we've literally hacked the nervous system. And I don't like that word hacked, just because so many people, it's been misused so much, right? Everybody sees that word hack on YouTube and just thinks it's baloney, because most of the time it is, most of the time it's clickbait. But the truth is that what you've just done is, by creating a really strong end range contraction, we're trying to intentionally trigger the Golgi tendon organ, which is a part of the nervous system that basically senses when a contraction is too strong, when a muscle contraction has the potential to cause risk of injury, and it shuts down the body's ability to contract muscles. And the way that we use this to hack the nervous system for flexibility is that when you do it the way we did it just then, it can actually help to shut down the pecs, the horizontal adductors, the muscles that bring our hands in. It can shut down their ability to contract to give us increased flexibility straight away. So it works really well. So you can do 2 or 3 sets of that. We'll move on now to the next exercise. And what we're going to do now is we're going to grab onto a little bit of a rope here. So this is, I've just got a bathrobe, but a rope, a towel, anything you've got. And I'll reposition the camera. We'll get into this. So we're going to grab onto our bathrobe or towel or whatever it is. We're going to hold on with one hand and we're going to bring it down here like this. And we're doing this stretch where you're trying to bring your hands together behind you, but you're likely going to really struggle with this. So we're going to increase flexibility by first pulling up. And we wiggle our arm up our back as we're pulling to get it as high as we can. And then you're most likely, we're going to hold this for 30 seconds, you're most likely going to be feeling a wicked stretch in your bicep and at the front of your shoulders when you're doing this. So we'll say that's 10 seconds. You can go a bit more if you can. 15 seconds. So remember, more sets of 30 seconds is more beneficial than a really long hold. So you could even do this routine twice a day. If you did this twice a day, 5 or 6 days a week, you'll see a significant improvement in flexibility pretty quickly. Now we do the opposite. So now we pull this arm down. So we're pulling down, wiggling that arm, get to the point where we feel the stretch. That's 10 seconds. Go a bit further if you can. $20, almost there. Okay, good work. Now we change sides. So I'm going to bring this arm over, sit like this. Okay, and from here, first we're going to wriggle this arm as we pull the hand up. Okay, holding for 30 seconds. Okay, that's good. I've had a slap tear in both shoulders, so these positions for me are really challenging. This is like the last part of flexibility that I haven't really worked to regain yet in my shoulders. And it's if you've had a slap tear, if you've had traumatic shoulder injury, then you'll know things like this can be really, really challenging to get back. Pull the arm down as far as it'll go. Hold for 30 seconds. So, and remember as well that with stretching, with all flexibility training, your stretch won't look like my stretch, and that's okay. We're all different. It's going to look different for you. What matters is that we're feeling it. We want to just feel something going on. We want to feel some kind of a stretch sensation. It's going to be in different places for different people. It depends where the tightest muscle is for you. When I do that second stretch, for me, I feel it in my tricep and a little bit in my lat. And when I do that first stretch where I'm pulling the arm up, I'm feeling it around the front of the shoulder here and in the bicep, okay? But it's all just helping this position of getting our arms back behind our head. Okay, now we're going down on a foam roller. We're going to grab onto some really light weights like this. So this is 2 kilograms, 4.5 pounds. Now, it's quite possible that if you don't have the flexibility and you're watching this video, your arms won't go to the ground like mine do. It's quite possible your arms are going to be here or here, wherever they are. You let the weight pull you down, and we're just going to gently bring our arms up and down like this, all the way up, all the way back down. Squeeze the elbows into your ribs like you're doing a lat pull down or a pull up. And what you want to be aware of whilst you're doing this is that your lower back doesn't come off the foam roller. So when you come down, you don't want your lower back doing that, okay? Now, because I'm a little more flexible than the average person, I can do this with my arms mostly on the ground, and your goal would be to be able to keep your forearms, wrists, elbows on the ground at all times. And so what this is doing, this is just a way that the weight is helping us to push into the position of the W wall slide. So that position that we tested at the start of this video that was really challenging, and this is helping us to gently push into that position. The W wall slide is such a good exercise. It trains the scapular stabilizers. It's really, really good for pull-up strength, because it trains the rhomboids and the traps and the lats as well. It also trains the lats, and it helps you with that end range of getting your chest up to the bar with a pull-up. But it's also an active mobility exercise, so it's really, really good. So if you can't do the W wall slide, then this routine is a really good thing for you to do each day. And this exercise here, we do about 8 to 12 reps, so I've lost count, but now we're going to get up and retest our W wall slide. Now we get back on the wall and retest our W wall slide. So remember when you do this, we want to have the lower back pushed firmly on the wall. We want the feet about this far away from the wall, depending on how tall you are. So that's really important. Pelvis, lower back, upper back, and head against the wall. And then you try and pull your arms back. Now, if at this point, so hopefully you can get your arms on the wall, even if all you can do is a tiny bit of movement like this, and that's all you can do. It's the intention that you do with it. So when you get to that point where you can't go any further, you really squeeze as hard as you can to pull past that end range without your arms coming off the wall. Now, if you still can't do it, turn your hands this way, okay? And all we're gonna be aiming for is the thumb on the wall. So for the full W wall slide, it's head, upper back, mid back, lower back, pelvis against the wall, palms turned into a pronated grip like this, back of the hands on the ground, on the wall, wrist on the wall, forearm, elbow on the wall, and we're doing it like this, okay? But for the regressed version, we just go to a neutral grip, touch the thumb to the wall, and we don't worry about the rest of the arm, okay? And then from here, we're just thinking at the bottom here, we're gonna depress the scapula as hard as we can, really pulling down, working on that end range, and then working all the way up as well. And if you still can't do that, I've got a couple of really good mobility routines you can do for the shoulder. If you click or tap the screen there, try one of those routines because they're also going to play a big part in being able to do this. And we need to tackle shoulder mobility from some different angles if this still hasn't worked for you.